Humans. Overfishing is the most immediate cause, and then the global warming, which is caused by excess use of energy, which makes the water warmer, and it's a stress which the coral can't stand. A healthy piece of coral has a dimpled look on it. The colors are either blue or various sorts of orange and yellow. The dead coral is white or brownish and usually covered in weed. It's not a pretty sight.
If you look at the reef now compared to what it was in 1973, it's a vast difference. My name is Peter Douglas. I'm a dive master here at Small Hope Bay Lodge. In some places, it looks like a war zone. And, you know, we're just sitting here praying, my God, how long can something as delicate as this take this kind of shock? And this has not only happened here, but it's happened globally. Places like the Maldives are like gone, Florida Keys, gone. And we're just sitting here, what can we do to educate and help our young people save this for the next generations? Now you look out there, eh? You notice how nice and white that water goes out, and then you see the dark areas? The dark areas, turtle grass, and the brown areas, the algae. Now slow down, now you're on these rocks, and there's a lot of living stuff on the rock. You don't want to crush all the little snails. But what can we do is start by just cleaning up our environment, being sensitive to what we are using, where we're putting it. You know, the planet might be 2/3 water, but that doesn't mean it's a big place to dump.
At our school, we clean up the mangroves and the coral reefs, and we pick up all the dirty trash and all the bottles and other garbages there. It helps the baby fishes to live their life.
The swampy wetlands and mangroves are places where people are inclined to go dumping garbage. The kids and the grown-ups are joining in. There are about 60 different sites which are being cleaned and restored. They can turn this thing around. It can recover. It could be brought round.
Once we go in, we're gonna swim as a group. Ready? Are you excited? This is not only a Bahamian problem or an Androsian problem. This is a problem for everybody in the world, and especially our neighbors next door in America, because we are one of the big nursery areas for marine life. And, you know, a fish that is born and spawned in the Bahamas could end up someplace off the coast of New York.
I believe the coral reef will survive because more people will know about it, not to trash it, and not to throw all the kind of chemicals and stuff in it.
By keeping the swamp clean, keeping the water clean, I think it will survive.
It's going to be okay because the children of the Bahamas is going to protect it.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news.
The island's latest homicide happening here on Bruce Avenue.
The Grand Classica undergoing major refurbishment ahead of its relaunch. And a former Prime Minister welcomed to Grand's Bahama in grand style. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Jamila Mizik. Thank you so much for tuning in. The island's homicide count climbing a notch today as a young man was gunned down on Bruce Avenue. Reports say the man had just arrived home when he was struck by a hail of bullets and eventually collapsed at the rear of his house. As Quant reports.
The island island's latest homicide happening here on Bruce Avenue Thursday morning. An outpour of emotions coming in from family, friends, and neighbors, all gathering to see what has happened. Police cording off an active scene as news broke of a shooting in the inner city community. Police officials swarming the scene, investigating the circumstances surrounding the lifeless body of a young male lying at the rear of a home. Sources say the victim was in his vehicle along with an infant when he was approached by a gunman. Press liaison officer ASP Stephen Roll picks up the story.
Shortly after 8:36 a.m. this morning, police control received a report of a shooting incident in the Bruce Avenue area. Upon the force officers' arrival, they received information that a vehicle, gray in color, would have pulled up to a residence. A male have exited that vehicle and produced a firearm on one of the male of the residence. He would discharge that firearm, shooting the male about the body. That male then would have fled to the rear of the residence, where he collapsed.
EMS personnel were called to the scene where they examined the body and found no signs of life. As preliminary investigations continue, Rhodes says they cannot confirm if the suspect is known to the victim. Are the police afraid of retaliation at this point?
Well, at this point, it's not safe to assume that it's going to be retaliation, but we keep our ears open and prepared for anything that's come forward. For some time, Bruce Avenue was known to be a hot spot area. Not to say that that's the cause of the incident here today.
Police officials are encouraging anyone with information on this homicide to contact the police at 911 or visit your local police station. I'm Azure Quant, ZNS Network News.
Now the police need your help in locating a 34-year-old suspect wanted on the charge of attempted murder. That suspect is Troy Williams Jr., alias Sean John of Blockade Drive, Midshipman Road, Lucaya. Police say he is considered armed and dangerous and should be approached with extreme caution. He's 5 feet 11 inches tall, 160 pounds, thin-built with dark brown eyes. If you know the whereabouts of Troy Williams Jr., you are asked to contact the nearest police station. Meanwhile, police and immigration officers locating some 14 migrants in a house on Crane Terrace in Fortune Bay. Police tell us that 2 Caucasian males were spotted on the outside of the residence, but they ran on the inside. After several failed attempts to get inside the residence, the team of law enforcement officers eventually gained entry through a western door and discovered the 14 illegal immigrants, 8 Ecuadorian males, 5 Ecuadorian females, and 1 Brazilian female. The group was turned over to immigration officers for processing and deportation. In other news, the Grand Classica is currently undergoing major refurbishment at the Grand Bahamas shipyard ahead of its rebranding as Margaritaville at Sea, a cruise brand owned by Margaritaville Resorts and Hotels. Formerly operated by Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line, Margaritaville at Sea begins its maiden voyage on May 14th. It will offer 2-night cruises to Grand Bahama from West Palm Beach and will accommodate 1,300 guests. Chief Commercial Officer of Margaritaville at Sea, Francis Riley, says while at the shipyard, every single cabin is being gutted as the vessel is being prepared for a cleaner operation as they build on sustainable initiatives introduced by Bahamas Paradise. Also from the #1 industry, a leader in ecotourism says that sector is showing signs of a comeback. Ecotourism was devastated by Hurricane Dorian, and after years of rebuilding, he believes it is finally taking shape. Blue Green Outdoors is an ecotourism business specializing in nature tours of Grand Bahama, particularly in East Grand Bahama. Owner Rudy Sawyer says his business based in McLeanstown suffered major loss after Hurricane Dorian destroyed much of East Grand Bahama, but now the tour company is making a turnaround.
Just like nature, the people of East Grand Bahama are also showing that resilience of, all right, we are hurt by the disaster, couldn't avoid that, and you couldn't avoid the natural feeling. But then life goes on. You have to keep on ticking. You have to, and we're all coming back bigger, better than we were before. And so it is with my tours as well. So the tours that we do offer, and I'm focusing on, are the East End Nature and Heritage Tour to East End Grand Bahama, primarily to the Crabbing Bay area. That is the base of my activities, where we will do the the kayaking and the snorkeling of the blue holes primarily. We also have guests participate in an authentic Bahamian meal, obviously to get a true taste, as I tell them, of the Bahamas.
Now, although the business focuses on tours in the East, they also offer tours in the West and Freeport as well. Sawyer says they've taken advantage of marketing their product online.
We're feeling good about the tours we have formulated, the one for the East as well as the nature tour that goes to the West, and my bird watching tour for the city of Freeport. The marketing is done online through all the social media. We also have agents that will sell at the resorts and around wherever we could go as well. And it's going by word of mouth as well, but the social media is certainly one of the main features for tours like myself and others like us that really focus on the quality of our tours. We don't need to have 100, 200 odd folks. In fact, ideally, 6 to 12 people for me will be a great tour.
His advice to like-minded businesses is to ensure that their tours are developed to be a quality product, adding that although the tours cater to the tourism market, locals can also bring big business as well.
I'm finding a number of folks who live here and who are Bahamians as well, looking at that feature of being able to experience not only the features of the snorkeling, the kayaking, the blue hole experience, but even seeing what Dorian has done to the eastern end of the island is an experience itself that a whole lot of people will love to be able to see, and to see how people are recovering from it. And I certainly say to those who are in the market, we are now beginning to see folks coming back, particularly on the cruise ships. Again, the resorts, the vacation rentals on the island are also marketing the product. And wherever we have hotel accommodations, let's push for it and let's do the best we can to make this a great comeback on this grand island of Grand Bahama.
Now, for more information on Blue Green Outdoors, you can find them on Facebook or call 727-6161. Principals from various schools on Grand Bahama assembling at the Sir Charles Haywood Library to receive their autographed copies of the former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hewitt Ingram's book, donated by the Grand Bahama Port Authority, and another 20 were donated by Sawyer's Fresh Market. As Jamiko Knowles tells us, the nation's former chief was welcomed in grand style.
Former Prime Minister of the Bahamas, the Right Honorable Hewitt Ingram, visiting Grand Bahama today to release his new book, I Say What I Mean and I Mean What I Say. An autographed copy was presented to principals of every school in the Grand Bahama District at the Sir Charles Haywood Library. The former Prime Minister receiving a grand welcome at the Sir Charles Haywood Library from honor guard students of Walter Parker Primary School and library officials. A short ceremony was held with principals from every school in attendance to receive their autographed copy of the book, courtesy of Sawyer's Fresh Market and the Grand Bahama Port Authority.
At Sawyer's Fresh Market, we truly believe in the importance of building our communities. We are pleased to donate a total of 20 books across school communities in Grand Bahama, and it is our hope that this donation would promote literacy, Bahamian culture, as well as Bahamian history.
On behalf of our shareholders and the executive management team of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, we wish to congratulate the former Prime Minister on this great accomplishment. He now joins the rank of many former prime ministers throughout our region who have penned so eloquently and honestly their respective legacies.
Editor of the book and former permanent secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Teresa Butler, says as a former social studies teacher, the book can become a useful learning tool in the government school system. She explains in part some of what Volume 1 entails.
The book, you will see at the beginning, has a chronology, beginning with his birth here in Pine Ridge and coming up to very modern times. And it will set out for you what was happening in the region and in the world as Mr. Ingram came to adulthood, entered politics, and brought with him his background from his upbringing.
Now, there are several volumes of the book that will be released. The Right Honorable Hubert Ingram says the volumes took nearly a decade to complete.
I think that you will find in the book much information that can assist students and others in the Minister. We hope at the end of the exercise that she can fund the second volume and the third volume. I shall do my autobiography next year, and I'll have to find the means of funding that.
Now, following the short ceremony, the former Prime Minister made a courtesy call to the University of the Bahamas Northern Campus to present officials with 5 copies of the book. Colino Insurance Company also purchased a pair of books for each junior and senior high school in the country. UB's Dean of Faculty, Dr. Andrew Moxey, and Branch Manager of Colino Insurance for the islands of Freeport and Abaco, Elrod Outen, expressing their appreciation for the book.
On behalf of Dr. Strawn and the University of the Bahamas North, we sincerely appreciate such a kind and visionary gesture on behalf of Colina, and thank you to Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Ingram, for the foresight to write such a book.
It's been a pleasure working with UB. And we sure have a great appreciation for the work that you do in our country and our local communities, and it's a pleasure donating to the cause.
Now, Volume 1 of the book has 1,006 pages. It can be purchased at several bookstores on Grand Bahama for $50. Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
The former Prime Minister also made a stop at Sawyer's Fresh Market in Lucaya. Scores of residents stood in line for an autographed copy of the book, I Say What I Mean and I Mean What I Say. Not only did residents get their book signed, but they also got a chance to have a brief chat with the former Prime Minister.
Today was a historical day for me, to have the first time to have the privilege to meet Mr. Ingram and to be able to purchase a book from him and to get an autograph. This book is like the Bible of politics, and I realized, because where I want to go in the country, I needed this. So I came here, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to meet Mr. Ingram.
This year is a true testimony, and as a matter of fact, we need more days around. The only book more important than this to me now is the King James Version of the Bible.
Very happy to see him. He looks well, and I'm glad on this first volume, from the time he started out, to know how it was and what he did for our country.
I think this young man, Mr. Ingram, is one of the most brilliant politicians we've had in this country, and I think he has a lot to offer to young aspiring politicians. And like he said to me just now, he said he's not about to retire right now. So thank God for that, because now we can learn a lot from him.
I happen to also read about half of his book. And as far as I am concerned, I believe the book should be made available in the school, especially the College of the Bahamas, for people who are studying government and to understand how government works. It's an excellent book to read, but I'm a reader.
I got my book signed, and he asked me what name to put on it. I said, well, it's from you to me. So it's to Wilfred Bowens, from former Prime Minister. And I will be reading this, and from there I will pass it on to my son. so that he will understand what the challenges are when you get into politics and how you run the country.
No, I think it's a great book, and once you look in the book and you read something, you'll know that's it.
Now, tomorrow, the former Prime Minister will meet with a group of students at the Jack Hewitt High School at 9:45 a.m. You're watching the Northern Edition. Stay with us.
Come on down. Come on down. Now.
For designer shoes, sandals, accessories, and handbags, visit Steppin' Out, now at 2 locations, Old Sam's Plaza, Freeport, and Top of the Hill, Mackey Street, Nassau. Steppin' Out, when you want to put your best foot forward.
Esquire Men's Freeport presents Passion for Fashion Saturday, May 14th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Lucaya Shopping Center. Admission is free.
Port Lucaya Marketplace has been around for a number of years. The marketplace is an open-air facility. We have lots of restaurants on property. We have bars. We have retail shops. We have something for the kiddies to do. We have something for the adults to do. It's a family-oriented establishment. We also have real estate companies on the property for persons who may visit the island, or even our locals. If someone is interested in probably purchasing their home or a piece of property, we have our straw markets. We have our crab craft market that specializes in handmade craft works. We have something on the property for everybody. Currently, we have a few spaces on the property that's available for rental. So we're reaching out to the public and encouraging entrepreneurs. Let's see what we can offer to them to bring some more livelihood to Port Lucaya Marketplace. Our hours are basically 8 a.m. until 2 a.m. the next morning. My contact information at the office is 373-8446.
At Pizza Hut, we believe in pizza and good deals. Enjoy 2 large one-topping pizzas for only $24.65, VAT inclusive. Call us downtown at 352-9191 or East Sunrise Highway, 373-8500 to order your 2 delicious Pizza Hut pizzas with your favorite toppings. Available for dine-in, carry-out, and delivery. Order 2 large one-topping pizzas at Pizza Hut Freeport today.
Celebrate Mom this Mother's Day at any of the 2 fabulous restaurants for brunch at the Grand Lucayan Hotel, Churchill's, or Portobello's. Ticket box office is at Lighthouse Point Lobby. Alive brings to you the iPhone 12 64 gigs for $249 when you switch to Alive postpaid. Alive, believe in best.
Celebrating the legendary Jay Mitchell. He brought us hit songs like Another Place and Time.
Place and time, late to have you, my love.
Your Mama and Your Daddy.
It's your mama and your daddy.
Junker Heat. Tell Laura I Love Her.
I love her. Tell Laura I need her.
And The Lord's Prayer. Join the ZNS Radio Network 8:10 a.m. on Friday, April 29th as we pay tribute to legendary Bahamian recording artist Rupert J. Mitchell during a 1-hour special broadcast from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. with Zion. Don't you miss it. Celebrating the legendary J. Mitchell.
Traveling the right boy.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back to the Northern Edition. The pulsating sounds of Junkanoo will be vibrating in South Florida soon. There is great excitement in the air as organizers of Junkanoo Fest 242 announce plans for this major Bahamian cultural event. CEO and president of Conch Pearl Entertainment, David Moss, has been busy meeting with various groups on Grand Bahama and in the United States. It is being marketed as a mega Junkanoo rush out in Miami Gardens in July.
Give platform and exposure to those people. We've been doing it for many years, and this is no different. We've broadened it a little bit bigger, and we've included all of the major Junkanoo groups in the conversation to basically take Junkanoo international. And the Junkanoo community is welcoming us on all levels and all fronts, from all leaders to also the JCNP.
Moss recently met with Bahamian Ambassador to Florida, His Excellency Kurt Hollingsworth. Representatives of the National Flag Carrier and other major organizations have thrown their support behind the event.
Conch Pearl is wide discussion now with Junkanoo leaders to bring 75 A-group Junkanooers in the A category, and Junkanooers that is, to represent each A group, and 50 Junkanooers from the B category to represent each B category. We have gotten confirmation from all of these Junkanoo leaders in Nassau, 3 Junkanoo groups in Grand Bahama.
Now the event takes place in Miami Gardens from Thursday, July 28th through Sunday, July 31st. He is encouraging Bahamians to vacation in Florida in order to attend this mega event. And now it is time for a check on sports with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to another exciting edition of sports right here in the North. We have quite a few updates as it relates to sports. Island sports ongoing at the sports complex. Baseball update, but let's begin with softball right here in Grand Bahama. The Grand Bahama Amateur Softball Association kicked off its season this past weekend at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex Softball Park. Overall, 6 games were played between Saturday and Sunday, which includes corporate, men's, and co-ed division. The GBASA is also under new leadership. Martha Edgecombe, who is no stranger to the game, was elected as the new president of the league recently. As far as the return of softball, Edgecombe says the excitement is in the air.
Oh, it's amazing to be back on the field finally. After so long, you know, we've had hiccups with Dorian, and then since Dorian, we've had hiccups with the pandemic. And so just to be back on the field, to see our fans here, it's just an amazing feeling. So throughout this year, we have many great events that are planned. We have some tournaments. We have some international teams. We're looking forward to visiting us. And definitely, we're very big on inter-island play for this season. And so we have some teams that will be traveling in just to, you know, help to build the morale of softball.
Games are expected to resume play this weekend. Switching gears now in baseball, what a sight it was last night for the 242 as 2 Bahamians went head-to-head in the majors. Lucius Fox of the Washington Nationals and Jazz Chisholm Jr. playing with the Miami Marlins are the first Bahamian-born players to appear in the same Major League Baseball game since April 22nd, 1961.
This is an incredible story, not just because they're countrymen, but because they're best friends. I talked to Lucius Fox earlier today. He says he calls Jazz his brother. They've known each other since they were very young. They played Little League together. They signed the same year as international free agents. They still work out together in the off-season.
The Marlins did walk away with the win last night. The final score was 2-1. Lucius Fox went 0 for 4 from the plate, while Jazz had 2 hits in 3 at-bats. And finally in sports, after 3 days of competition so far at the Fidelity Bank Island Sports at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex, Tabernacle leads all schools in the medal count with 16 total medals. St. George's sits in second with 15 medals. Not too far behind is BMES with a total of 9 medals, and right behind them is Sister Mary Patricia Russell Junior High with 8 medals. That's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
Celebrate Mom this Mother's Day at any of the 2 fabulous restaurants for brunch at the Grand Lacayan Hotel, Churchill's, or Portobello's. Ticket box office is at Lighthouse Point Lobby.
Hi, I'm Wes. I like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi,
I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience Island Bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
Welcome to Port in a Minute, an informative segment brought to you by the Grand Bahama Port Authority, where we update you on the latest news taking place within the Port Group of Companies and our community.
Today, we are excited to announce that our licensing process is now fully digital. Our new online gateway, the Freeport Business Portal, allows entrepreneurs to apply for a business license, track the approval process, and receive free information about funding resources. It provides support for licensees searching for available locations, wanting to develop a business plan, and so much more. Existing licensees can get access to free training and ongoing assistance from our Small Business Bureau and can request information about upcoming initiatives to assist their business. Our portal is designed to ensure that all customers can have access to helpful resources 24/7. It is our commitment to do our part and enhance the ease of doing business in Freeport. Visit business.gbpa.com to see how we can help you.
That was Port in a Minute, brought to you by the Grand Bahama Port Authority.
Be sure to tune in next time for more updates.
Hey there, welcome to Health Bites, where each and every week we give you a helpful tip to help you on your health and fitness journey. We're here at the Fitness Connection in the Raven Mall, and today I want to give you 3 exercises that you can do at home. The first exercise we're going to talk about is called a thruster. You can take some dumbbells like these, hold them up here, you're going to go down into a squat, and then up into a shoulder press, and repeat. You want to try to get between 15 and 20 reps of this exercise. Also, a pro tip, if you don't have dumbbells, you can grab a handy-dandy water bottle or a child or something else and hold them up and squat and press, squat and press. So you don't need weights to start, and if that's too hard, then you can just do it without the weights. Exercise number 2 is for your core. We're going to do a simple plank. You're going to place your forearms on the ground right below your chest. Get your body straight. Keep your hips elevated. You don't want to sag like this. Keep them nice and straight. Now, while you do this, you're going to feel your core burning. You might start some shaking. You want to make sure you push as hard as you can to get past the time you did last time. You did 30 seconds, try to get 40. You did 40, try to get a minute. Just keep pushing it. All right, third exercise, we're gonna work some more legs. We're gonna do some lunges. Lunges are good for your quads, your glutes. You can do them in place like this. Or you can do walking lunges where you step, step, and keep it going. A lot of these exercises you can do with or without weights, but if you want to add weights, make it a lot more challenging, especially as you get stronger. We have them here available at the Fitness Connection. We're located in the Raven Mall, also in Nassau and Sea Grapes and Blake Road. Come check us out.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Sonia Williams, you are our Facebook friend this Thursday. Yes, we appreciate your support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Jamila Mizik. Thank you so much for joining us. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies. We have hobbies. And we love sports. In every way, we are just like everyone else and enjoy the same things and live our lives every day, just like you do. So if you happen to meet us, treat us just like everyone else. Because at the end of the day,
We're just like you.
living life with Down syndrome is simply living. To learn more about Down syndrome, call 727-2105. This message is brought to you by the Grand Bahama Down Syndrome Society.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, the government looks to lessen the headache of home ownership. Application denied. A tragic end to a police-involved shooting. And cricket, now a school sport. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapindo. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks so much for joining us. Day 2 of the Crypto Bahamas Conference, now history. Today's main feature, a panel discussion on the world today with former United States President Bill Clinton and former British Prime Minister Tony Blair. Jiminita Swain joins us live from the Bahama Resort with more. Good evening, Jiminita.
Good afternoon, Makushla, and good afternoon, Bahamas. We're coming to you live from the Bahamas Convention Center, where, of course, the Crypto Bahamas Conference, hosted by FTX Digital Markets and SALT, is underway. It's been an exciting conference so far, but to give us some more insight into the happenings is, of course, the Vice President of Communications, Valdez Russell. Good evening, Valdez.
Good evening, Bahamas, and thank you for joining us live from Bahamar.
Now, one of the key features of the evening session is, of course, a session with former United States President Bill Clinton and, of course, former Prime Minister for the United Kingdom, Mr. Tony Blair. A very interesting session that had standing room only. Is that indicative of the interest in learning more about cryptocurrency, digital markets, and the likes?
Yes, so we did indeed have a standing room only event for Bill Clinton, Tony Blair, and it was hosted by Sam Bankman-Fried. And what was exhilarating about that particular session was the opportunity for all of our participants to hear current thoughts as it relates from these world's leaders around topics of global importance. And so it was a dynamic and riveting exchange between the three of them around topics on common sense questions around cryptocurrency and blockchain, current events happening in Ukraine, and also getting practical advice around how to be a part of this world-changing type of behaviors associated with cryptocurrency and the blockchain technology.
And it was a very interesting conference or session, as you mentioned. It was funny at the beginning when Mr. Blair mentioned, hey, he called his son up to tell him, hey, I'm doing this conference here on blockchain and cryptocurrency. And his son was like, well, just say nothing, just be quiet. So it was interesting that, you know, they had the kind of rapport before, but he was very relaxed in the sessions and giving the audience or attendees a session of information in terms of current events and moving up through from when he was Prime Minister up to now, what's happening in the development. So it was a very interesting session. You indicated that there's over 2,000 registrants attending the sessions today. I mean, major numbers.
We've had around 2,000 participants at this event, and we have been thrilled with their enthusiasm around Crypto Bahamas. We know that this was a premier event for the Bahamas. We showcased some of the most brilliant minds here in the Bahamas. Tanya McCartney, Allison Maynard Gibson, Aaliyah Allens. We had Christina Roll. We had the governor of the central bank participate, along with the deputy prime minister and the attorney general. I highlight those names because as we allowed for the best and brightest in the Bahamas to be showcased, they were joined by global thought leaders. Sam Bankman-Fried was here. We also had John Charlatan present. Andrew Yang will take the stage tomorrow. And so what we were able to capture in this moment was an experience that would be unforgettable, an experience that happened right here from the Bahamas, and it was a world-class event that we can all be proud of as Bahamians.
And obviously tomorrow, Friday, is the final day of sessions. What can attendees expect?
I think attendees can expect the final opportunities to network, build relationships, and cement those kinds of interactions that help them to drive conversations around blockchain assets, to drive conversations around cryptocurrency, and to think about what it's going to be like to make the Bahamas their home as we position ourselves to be the digital assets leader in the world.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. That is, of course, Valdez Russell. He is the Vice President of Communications at FTX Digital Markets. The final day of the sessions for this Crypto Bahamas conference set for tomorrow. But for now, Jiminita Swain coming to you live from the Barmar Convention Center. Back to you, Makushla.
Well, thanks, Jiminita. I think it's safe to presume that at this point, the event has been a total success. In other news this evening, upbeat news for the tourism product as the country's largest private employer is seeing its strongest numbers in years. Atlantis' president and managing director today confirming that guest occupancy exceeds where it usually is this time of year. Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
Coming off a full Easter, the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort is now boasting a more than 85% occupancy, and President Audrey Oswald says future bookings are also looking strong.
We are back to our pre-pandemic levels, looking forward through the rest of this year and into the first quarter of next year. We are actually seeing that our numbers are exceeding 2019 numbers. So it's great to be back in business and back into full swing.
Oswald says the property that employs over 6,000 people has a lot coming down the pipeline, with more than $500 million in renovations underway.
We just finished the construction and renovation of our Royal East Tower. We're starting renovations on the casino, starting renovations on the Royal West Tower. Some new restaurants are coming, and a lot of exciting things here at Atlantis this year.
The U.S. is the Bahamas' main tourism market. That country's leading infectious disease specialist, Dr. Anthony Fauci, announced on Tuesday that it was finally out of the COVID-19 pandemic phase. As government continues to loosen COVID-19 restrictions, Oswald is among hotel executives eager to see more of those regulations fall away.
We're happy that the mask restrictions have been lifted, and we're noticing that it's allowing our guests to feel a lot more comfortable. Some of our team members still choose to wear it, whatever they're comfortable with. I think the next step will be to stop the testing coming into the Bahamas, and also the testing. Hopefully the U.S. government will do the same and stop the testing for going back to the U.S.
With local COVID-19 infections doubling in the past 2 weeks, Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, says they put a pause on further loosening as officials monitor the situation. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, Minister of Transport and Housing, the Honorable JoBeth Colby Davis, leading off debate in the House of Assembly Thursday on a resolution to transfer parcels of land that pave the way for new affordable homes. She also provided details on a number of policy initiatives that will put the dream of home ownership within the reach of countless Bahamians. Fern Carey has the details.
Home ownership is a part of the Bahamian dream, but for many people, it may never become a reality. Citing a 2004 survey conducted by the Bahamas Department of Statistics, Housing Minister, the Honorable JoBeth Colby Davis, indicated that over 30% of Bahamian households fell within the annual income range of $20,000 to $40,000 a year, making this group, which includes essential workers like nurses, police officers, and teachers, the most difficult to obtain mortgages for a home. Fortunately, it's an issue the Davis administration is moving aggressively to address.
We are in
high-level conversations with the banks so that we can provide a program of consolidating persons with unsecured loans who are not able to qualify for mortgage. If we put them through a consolidation program, we're able to capture their loans into one umbrella and get them to a point where they can qualify for mortgages. And so I look forward to be able to provide further details of how that program is going to.
Figures show that over the past several years, our counterparts across the region have been outperforming the Bahamas in providing affordable homes to residents. However, the Ministry of Housing is implementing an initiative that will expand the path to home ownership for many Bahamians.
In the coming weeks, my ministry will announce the formation of a rent-to-own committee to assist the Department of Housing in developing a sound and financially viable framework. We are very excited about the possibilities of such an initiative for populations who traditionally have difficulties securing a mortgage.
Plans are also underway to increase engagement with mortgage providers across the country, while the Ministry of Housing is also looking to leverage a special savings bond to encourage savings or mortgage down payment. Housing fairs are also planned for Exuma, Eleuthera, and Andros.
Now, housing fairs are designed to gauge the public interest in public housing and allow for planning by the Department of Housing. Collectively, we've had over 2,000 applicants received through the Department of Housing by these fairs. And it is important for us to ensure that our approach to housing is not Nassau-centric and anticipates the needs of the islands throughout the Bahamas, with a special focus on those islands who have not yet recovered from past hurricanes.
Reforms are also on tap for the Ministry of Housing to ensure that operations run more efficiently. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Well, the resolution to transfer parcels of land to the Ministry of Housing for new affordable dwellings receiving strong bipartisan support. In doing so, Marcos City MP and opposition leader Michael Pintard offered this recommendation.
The government should be involved in a varied program that makes available, in some instances, land for those Bahamians that are minded to purchase in particular subdivisions and have their own vision and notion of the contractor they desire, the model home they desire, and the arrangement they wish to enter into to build upon. However, in addition to selling land, we believe it is absolutely important for the government to be intimately involved in the process of helping to deliver turnkey solutions.
Still to come, a clampdown on foreign work permits and a deadly police-involved shooting probed. We'll be back after the break.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
What? Check old girl, boy. Say she getting married? Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them.
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
They say that when it hits you, it hits you. A feeling so strong that it's impossible not to give into. A juicy piece of KFC to feel elevated by the aroma. And and to freefall into its exciting flavor. Some call it love, attraction, desire. We call it KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited. If it's healthcare, it's here.
A significant number of applications for labor certificates have either been denied or deferred pending consideration for Bahamian employees. And Director of Labor Robert Farquharson makes no apology for it.
Many applicants come for project. Many applicants come for project. Prime example, we have a couple of hotels have submitted application for labor certificate for restaurant managers. We have denied all because we believe there are too many qualified, trained, available, unemployed Bahamians who can manage a restaurant. So we have taken the steps to say to that employer, this is denied. We utilize our database and we identified, in some instances, 15, 20 qualified unemployed Bahamians, and we sent them the resumes. We said, you must consider these applicants before any consideration is given. And that process is ongoing.
Farquharson says they've also found this to be true in the construction sector, denying about 80% of these applications.
Many applicants come for project managers and site supervisors. We have too many qualified contractors in our country who have the ability to perform these tasks. So we have denied those applications and said to those developers, those employees, no, here are qualified, available contractors to perform these duties. And so it is that route we're taking. In addition to that, we have worked with the Director of Immigration and say to the Immigration Department, we have qualified technical people, particularly when companies like BTC and BPL applied for foreigners to perform duties that qualified Bahamians are able to do. So we have also denied those applications.
The family of a man in his late 20s in mourning tonight after he was killed in a police-involved shooting earlier this afternoon. Police went to Antigua Street, that's off Carmichael Road, right before noon to respond to a disturbance at a nearby church. The incident leading the majority of the police force's top brass, including Acting Police Commissioner Clayton Fernandez, to view the scene. Here's details of the initial investigation.
They followed the male, and a short time later, the male entered into a yard west on Antigua Street, and the officers rode up and returned. And when the officers returned, the male jumped the wall from the yard and discharged his weapon at the officers. The officers, being aware of the threat towards their lives, produced their service weapons and shot the suspect, injuring him. EMS was called, and following their assessments, the service technicians determined that there was no signs of life.
Police Press Liaison Officer Superintendent Audley Peters couldn't reveal any further specifics due to the nature of the initial probe. He did indicate, though, that the coroner was on the scene and will submit a report for further investigation. Authorities say the officers weren't injured, but the police vehicle sustained damage. Well, reports surfacing of a man being shot during an incident in the Soldier Road area. Police press liaison officer Superintendent Audley Peters could not confirm, though, if the victim was a Defense Force officer.
So there was a robbery that occurred last night where a male was at in front of a residence in conversation with a friend.
And
the male was approached by two men. And when he saw them coming, he approached them and asked them what was the situation. Apparently an altercation ensued. One of those suspects shot that male and took his vehicle along with some other personal items. The victim was transported to the hospital where he's receiving treatment for his injuries.
And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern edition, at 6:30 and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
To think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem. Just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
At the Department of Housing, we are working diligently to expand the path to home ownership. We have streamlined our mortgage application process to make it easier and more convenient for you, our valued clients. The first step in the application process is to register online at www.mothbahamas.com. Registering online is a critical step in the mortgage application process, as it allows for a specific profile to be created, and it also allows you, our valued clients, to easily track and monitor your application as it moves through the various phases. The following documents are required: passport, NIB smart card, voter's card or recent utility bill not older than 3 months old to confirm address, job letter, pay stub, print of current credit facilities, which includes consumer loans and credit cards. For self-employed persons, the Department of Housing will require company documentation, such as a valid business license and business account statements for a minimum of 12 consecutive months. The Department of Housing, making access to quality, affordable housing easier for Bahamians. If you're interested in quality, affordable housing built at the highest construction standards, please register at www.mothbahamas.com or call us at 302-5816.
Health is the greatest gift. That's
That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
We all know how good food makes us feel. It's like the feeling you get on bay. And at Popeyes, we give you that feeling because we know how to make good food. Our food is the food of joy and the joy of being alive despite hard times. We don't do boring or bland. We are proud and big-hearted and love sharing with you, our fans. We take pride in sharing. We always do it with love. And that's the Popeyes difference that you can taste in every bite.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
The Bahamas Feeding Network has a new location in eastern New Providence. Carla Palmer has more on today's official grand opening ceremony.
The Bahamas Feeding Network has a new home in which to carry out its mission of caring for those less fortunate. The 2-story, 8-room structure is certainly a step above the first location, just a house apart on Fox Hill Road North. A ribbon-cutting ceremony taking place this Thursday to mark the occasion. Shane Davis is director of the network.
It is a big step in the life of the Feeding Network. And we're so very pleased that now we have a slightly larger facility where we can consolidate everyone under one roof, and that allows us to be able to hopefully be a little bit more efficient in what we do.
Just 9 years ago, the Bahamas Feeding Network was established, and since that time frame, its impact has been immeasurable and life-changing. Anne McGregor can testify. She's a recipient of the Food Assistance Program.
To some, it may be just a program what nobody really thinks about. But for persons like myself and others out there that cannot have a daily help from persons, this is like help, hope, love, appreciation. You would come here as a stranger, and with the love and the handouts that we get, you know, you leave feeling like a friend.
Davis says assisting persons like McGregor and making a difference in their lives is what makes the program so worthwhile and a necessary endeavor.
We've seen over those 9 years an almost exponential growth in the demand for this service. We are here, in fact, to try and expand that reach and to try and do that even more efficiently than we've been doing it in the past.
The occasion, however, was not only about the new facility, but an opportunity as well to say thanks to all those who continue to contribute to the program.
On behalf of myself and persons out there who cannot speak for themselves, we thank you and all the persons that donate. And we want you to continue donating because it's a lot of persons out there hurting.
Already, network members have conducted 3 feedings from this new location. No doubt, there's still more to come. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Celebrations for Administrative Professionals Week in full effect here at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, but not in the way you think. The secretaries, assistants, and administrators choosing to axe the traditional observance by giving back to grade 1 students of Centerville Primary. Those excited students receiving a few jam-packed Easter baskets. ZNS's Senior Human Resources Manager, Linda Sands.
During this week, we're going to give back to our neighboring school, Centerville Primary School. This is an initiative through Michelle Dane Weeks, who was our executive assistant in the television news department. She brought this idea to Human Resources, and so we brought it forward. We actually wanted to do this in Christmas, and then in the Easter, so we say Census Professionals, Administrative Professionals Week, we'll commemorate it in our celebrations.
On hand to accept the bundle of gifts was Centerville Primary School Principal Audrey Lewis. Grade 1 teachers also expressed their gratitude for the students' gifts.
It's an awesome feeling because you didn't have to do it and you thought about us here at Centerville Primary. So we are very appreciative of the initiative that you guys did for us.
Well, of course, you know, kids love gifts and they're so excited by the gifts and the treasures that they have every day from us. And this is extra gifts from you all. And just to keep them motivated.
Well, tomorrow, International Dance Day, and thanks to the Bahamas chapter of the International Dance Council, some 300 young girls will dance and hear words of wisdom from international dance leaders during a special seminar at Super Club's Breezes Friday evening. President Dr. Ann Higgins tells us how the event reflects this year's theme, Dance Your Way Out.
We're going to have about 5 persons bring messages, persons of importance that will bring messages of hope to them. After each 5-minute message, there will be a dance number, and it will be according to the message that has been spoken. If it's on depression or broken people, broken lives, healing, that's what we're going to do. And we're going to minister to them. And, you know, that is what we're here for. We're here to minister to the broken.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
AID has everything you need and more to complement your home's decor. Luxurious bamboo bath towels, face towels from $1.25 and bath towels from $5.45. Shower curtains from $2.54 and organizers in stylish finishes. Bath mat sets from $7.27 in a multitude of styles and colors. Bed sheet sets from $9.95 and 7-piece comforter sets from $49.95. Doormats from $1.93 with matching runners and hundreds of area carpets. Sofa covers from $19.95, plain and crushed sheer curtains from $5.25 and thousands of panels to choose from. Blinds from $7.02 and curtain rods from $2.89. Ceramic and porcelain dishes, tablecloths, napkins, placemats, utensils, and more. A wide selection of drinking glasses, including elegant stemware, candle holders, vases, and crystal. Full-size mirrors, decorative pictures, and picture frames. AID, Wolf Road, and the Mall at Marathon open late and on Sundays to serve your decorating needs. AID, all you really need and more.
Discover the possibilities.
Discover the possibilities.
Discover the possibilities.
I discovered the possibilities.
I discovered the possibilities.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Lend, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Lend's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
So when you look at the complement of women that we have across the business today, they're in the commercial field, they're in the IT field, the technology field. We've been very strategic and that women had a place not only at the table, but also that different views and not just one voice is being heard to ensure that we're providing innovative and creative solutions to our customers to enable their lifestyle to be even more seamless as we go forward.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
He has spoken to Eleuthero's business outlook as a businessman, a senator, and this morning as the Minister of Agriculture, Marine Resources, and Family Island Affairs. The Honorable Clay Sweeting, in his keynote address to that island's business community, spoke to the challenges Eleuthero faces from infrastructure to health care as it moves beyond its worst days into growth.
I called the minister last night to ensure that he gave me the okay to announce today that the Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Darville, along with his technical team, has visited Eleuthero and has committed to building not one, but 2 state-of-the-art medical facilities on Eleuthero. One of those facilities in Palmetto Point, which will have a small surgical ward, and one of those will be in my hometown of Rock Sound. So, in preparation for these facilities, we continue to seek applications for those qualified and who may qualify through training to properly service these facilities in a myriad of capacities within the healthcare industry.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. Currently, we are under partly cloudy skies. Temperature at 77 degrees. Relative humidity 60%. East-southeast winds at 7 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,016.0 millibars. That's 30.00 inches. And the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the island this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 75 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Greentoll, Key, and Marsh Harbor, Dakota, Berry Islands at 77. Allenstown, Bimini, 78 degrees, 77 in Harbor Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthero, 78, 77 in Black Point, Exuma, Kemps, Bay South Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. Allenstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, Rum Key, and Georgetown, Exuma, all reporting 78 degrees, more 78s in Ragged Island, Clarence, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 79, Ackland, 79, Matthew, Tananagua, 80 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 79 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwestern islands tonight, light and variable winds. So seas going to remain flat at 1 to 3 feet with the high tide taking place at 7:22 this evening. In the central and southeastern islands, easterly flow at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And then tomorrow, Friday, the winds become easterly, so they will be increasing slightly, 10 to 15 knots out of the east with the wave heights building 2 to 4 feet. High tide tomorrow, 7:30. 137 in the morning, low tide at 1:48 in the afternoon. In the central and southeastern islands on Friday, southeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And as we take you into Saturday for the northwest and central islands, the winds will rotate clockwise, becoming southeast at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights holding at 2 to 4 feet. High tide 8:18 in the morning, low tide at 2:26 in the afternoon. Now for the southeast Bahamas on Saturday, southeasterly winds, they will be increasing as well, 15 knots, wave heights building 3 to 5 feet, really moderate sharp. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
When I was but a young boy, Mama used to say, learn all you can, boy, prepare for rainy day. Please stay in school, boy, hear what the teachers say. This poem from the Royal Reader will help you on your way. If you strive to nail it right, boy, hit it on the head. Strike with all your might, boy, while the iron is red. When you
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, the extended weather forecast is still ahead.
standing at the foot, boy, gazing at the sky.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
To be the best, world-class athletes depend on a live to stay connected. We are committed to promoting Bahamian excellence locally and on an international stage. With hundreds of thousands of people depending on us, we must be a strong, fast, and flexible network. With speeds as fast as Joanna and plans as flexible as Donald, there's a plan suitable for everyone starting as low as $1 a day. With our Freedom Plan, choose the way you want to be connected with a 1-day or 7-day Freedom Plan. With our 30-day Liberty Plan, choose the right bundle of talk, text, and data. And for postpaid, we've got Liberty bundles loaded with talk, text, data, and even roaming included. Alive's hard-working network was built for hard-working people. No matter your goal, we have a plan that you can depend on. We are Alive.
Bahamas National Statistical Institute, formerly the Department of Statistics, is commencing the 2022 census during the months of April through June. There will be 3 ways for individuals to complete their questionnaires: online, via telephone, and in person. The online census will have a questionnaire that individuals can complete from the comfort of their home. This only applies to the households who would have provided contact information during the 2021 listing exercise. Via the telephone, census administrators will be conducting the census questionnaire over the phone. And finally, the traditional in-person interviews will also be conducted. You may ask the question, well, what is the census? The right answer would be the total count of people living in the country at a specified time. Every person in every dwelling unit, regardless of age and nationality, throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas will be counted. The count depends on you.
Happy anniversary, My Gateway. Did you know that you can request and pay for over 35 government services on mygateway.gov.bs? Sign up today and access government services online with efficiency and simplicity. It's a celebration of a year of collective success on our digital transformation journey. My Gateway, making government work for you.
Philly cheesesteak time at Burger King Nassau. This classic sandwich isn't just a Philly cheesesteak, it's a Burger King Philly cheesesteak. Enjoy your sandwich with flame-grilled beef, plant-based, or try the crispy chicken version with all the Philly fixins, including lots of melted cheese, caramelized onions, bell peppers, and mushrooms on a sesame seed hoagie bun. Visit any of Burger King Nassau's 7 locations and enjoy your Philly cheesesteak as a combo or as part of the King's Feast at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
This segment of the news is presented by Sands, the truly Bahamian beer. This is ZNS Total Sports.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Sports Thursday. I'm Charles Fisher, Charlotte Friends, meeting on the diamond in Major League Baseball last night. Josh Chisholm batting leadoff and playing second base for the Miami Marlins squared off with Lucius Fox, who was in the 9th spot for the Washington Nationals and played both shortstop and third base. By the way, both signed their professional contracts the same year in 2015. Jazz going 2 for 3, lifting the Marlins to the squeaker 2-1 win, their 4th straight, and have taken the first 2 of this series from the Nationals. Fox went 0 for 4, and he's still looking for his first Major League hit. Here's what the commentators for that game had to say about the two and the historic moment.
Is what they literally dreamed of growing up. And when Jazz made his Major League debut back in 2020, he called Lucius, who told me that getting that call from his buddy felt like he himself was making his Major League debut. They know a lot of people back home in the Bahamas are going to be watching. They're working a lot in the offseason with little leagues, trying to spread the game down there. Lucius told me that every year, the last handful of years, 2 or 3 players have been signed out of the Bahamas in the international signing window. There's close to 30 guys from that country now, that small island nation, that are playing affiliated baseball here in the States.
61 years and 5 days ago, Andre Rogers of the Cubs and Tony Curry of the Phillies were on the field together. They faced each other 6 times over a 2-year period. And here we are, 61 years later, doing it again. Fantastic.
These same two teams meet again for a 3-game series in Miami, May 16th through 18th, so book your tickets. The sport of cricket getting a lift with the implementation of the school program. Corey Edwards, development officer with the Bahamas Cricket Association, has started doing his rounds.
When I came to the schools, I mean, the kids and the PE teachers are very, very keen and interested to learn a new sport. Some people know about it already, but the thing is about it, you want the enthusiasm, and that has been the forefront of the whole program. And then, now, obviously, I would point them in the right direction. We have 6 schools. We have the AF Adley, we have SC McPherson, those are 2 junior schools, Yellow Elder, Sybil Strawn, CW Sawyer, Ridgeland, yes, those are 4 primary schools.
At this level, making the game fun is important.
The first stages of cricket, getting to know the game with the kiddie cricket, and that obviously make it even more fun than anything else. Then you will see who have the good characteristics like the hand-eye coordination, obviously the presence of mind, and then from there now we will slowly but surely wean them onto the hard ball, because then now obviously you have to teach the kids now to position themselves properly when they're batting, when they're bowling, when they're fielding, to stay safe, to make sure they're not injured by the hard ball. So obviously is a steady progression all the way along.
Some of the players were looking like they have been playing this game for quite some time.
I decided to get into cricket because I like to be active and I love sports. The fun part is running.
Was cricket difficult to learn from basketball and all other sports?
No, sir.
Okay. How were you able to pick it up so easy? Watch it on TV? It's a long sport.
Actually, I'm just a fast learner.
I heard about cricket and I was a little interested in cricket and I joined the cricket club. I like to hit the ball and drop the batter and run.
We was on PE. We had the guest coach and then we was like just practicing to hit the pins down. I will miss all of mine just like barely, and we'd still end up losing, but I still like to play cricket. So that's how I found out about it, and that's how I like to play it.
The physical education instructors presented with the necessary equipment to teach the sport to their students. Speaking on behalf of the group was Nikita Knowles of SC McPherson.
All right, it's not a core sport, as you would have said, but because it's new, you know, things that are new, kids tend to pick up fairly quickly, and so we will, at the moment, just focus on the club aspect of the sport. I don't know how we're going to fit it into the curriculum, but we'll figure that out as time goes on.
How's the kids' reaction?
The kids are loving it. The kids are loving it. As a matter of fact, I'm enjoying it as well. I didn't play cricket. I didn't know anything about cricket, and because we've been doing it for this last several weeks, I caught on, and everyone's enjoying it and having a really good time.
So what days will these clinics be available?
We have already started like on Friday evenings at Haynes Oval from 4 to 6 for the junior schools, and then Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 at the same Haynes Oval for the primary schools. I'm getting around to the senior schools as well, right? So obviously you still got to give me some time to get to them, but I just want to make sure I do it in a systematic way so that everyone can benefit.
And that's going to put a wrap on Sports Thursday. Thanks for watching. I'm Charles Fisher.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
We elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate.
I'm Corvell Pfeiffer. Exuma is feeling the impact of BTC's high-speed broadband fiber network. Our crews are on the ground daily making these upgrades, and the process is nearing completion.
We're here at the Exuma National Family Island Regatta in Georgetown, Exuma. Everybody here is super excited. So here at BTC, we did a number of initiatives to ensure that everybody stays connected during this time. So we expanded our mobile network, the capacity to ensure that everybody stays connected. Here at the site, at the regatta site, what we did, we also installed a free Wi-Fi network here, so everybody can share what's happening here.
The BTC team has taken over the beautiful island of Exuma. We're here at the regatta site where we're offering deals and steals for our customers. From fixed services, if you sign up for our internet, you get 2 months free. Yes, 2 months free. And if you sign up for our Exuma postpaid plan, you get a free Samsung AO3. So our team is here. From you can't come in at the airport, driving around town, you will see our mobile van. And we have 2 locations at the site, and we're even down at the Sandals Resort.
We are taking our high-speed fiber broadband network all across the country. So look out for us and know that when you see us, you too are being elevated. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corvell Pfeiffer. Be well and be back here. Next, BTC Connection.
When you testify in court, you're expected to tell the truth. Same goes for your insurance application form. You have to answer every question truthfully and provide all the information requested, or you could be found guilty of misrepresentation. That means your insurance company could deny your policy or refuse to pay your claim. Your insurance company relies on the information you provide to determine whether to issue you a policy. Leaving out just one piece of information could lead to misrepresentation. So read your application form carefully. If you're unsure about anything, ask your insurance agent or broker before completing and signing your insurance application form. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, protecting the interests of policyholders.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. Cause if it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. If it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
The C&E Championship Regatta held in Georgetown, Exuma over the weekend also brought entertainers together for the first time in 2 years. Entertainment organizer Dylan D. McKenzie said they were elated to hit the regatta stage.
we've been missing. This pandemic has put dealt a dangerous blow to the cultural community, to the creative arts community. It is so refreshing now to see that now we have an opportunity to get out there and finally be able to make money and to expose and show our gifts that we are so passionate about.
We've been waiting on this since the pandemic hit, and I just overwhelmed now to be here in Exuma, actually being able to perform. For the BMA people, we've been waiting on culture, and now culture's back.
I'm overwhelmed because after just being to do stuff virtually during the pandemic and not being able to touch a stage, and being one of the youngest musicians on stage, it's good to be amongst such talented artists and talented musicians.
Meanwhile, vendors from around the country also gathered in Exuma. They say they were looking forward to serving patrons.
It feels great to be back, to see a lot of former colleagues and the vendors that I'm so used to being with. And it also is great to see that some money is starting to move.
Met you at Exuma Regatta. I purchased some products. I like your products. How can I get more? So that's ultimately what I'm looking for, what the company is looking for.
I'm much impressed with the locals because they really grasped and really put in shirts. I'm impressed.
For Good to Grow, I'm Kendia Smith. 5 years ago, there were no female executives in the Cable Bahamas group. Today, we have 7. Most critical to my success thus far is having a strong support system. The advice that I would give young women would be to paint your picture of success and also to know that the goals that you have for you, because you are the CEO of you have the opportunity to achieve them.
My name is Makumbla Smith. Most people know me as Kumbi. I'm a personal trainer and group fitness instructor, and I am fully vaccinated. I would consider myself in good health. Upon finding out that I had the virus, COVID-19, I was not only shocked, but I was frightened. What changed my mind or what helped me to decide to get the vaccination was realizing, because of my career, my work, I'm in close proximity with a lot of mature people. Numerous times I'd find myself in the face of a client, or he or she is in my face. So to protect both of us, I thought it best that I should get vaccinated. I wouldn't wish the experience of contracting the disease on anybody. From my experience, it feels like a death sentence. And especially if you're mature in age or you have underlying symptoms, don't wait any longer. Trust me, you'll be glad you did. Now is the time.
Family gatherings start with a trip to Super Value and Quality supermarkets for great savings like Mahatma long grain rice, 10 pounds, $7.99. Rainbow corned beef, 12 ounce, 2 for $5. Hunt's ketchup, 32 ounce, $2.69. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, $1.19 per pound. Sweet cantaloupes, 2 for $5. Continue to save at Super Value and Quality supermarkets.
Samantha's always on point. She doesn't miss a thing. When she signs up for any insurance policy, she reads all the fine print. She knows what's covered, what's not covered, and she's aware of her deductibles. When it comes to insurance, it pays to know your policy. Review every insurance policy so you know what you're covered for. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married? Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
Hello, I'm Beverly Curry, and in this segment of Ordinary People, you will hear the story of a cancer survivor who is now the producer of Tasty Teas.
Time now for weather.
And our final look at what we have this week from boundary near the extreme northwest Bahamas, and that will fire up some showers and isolated thunderstorms beginning tonight, and that will carry over into Saturday when we expect those showers and thunderstorms to become very heavy around Grand Bahama, Abaco, and the Bimini's, and some of that will drift further south by late Saturday afternoon heading into Sunday here in the capital as well. So a very wet weekend shaping up for the extreme northwest Bahamas, and I know we have some fishing tournaments around the Abaco areas. Well, they will experience some challenges as a result of these heavy showers and thunderstorms on Saturday. Patchy clouds here in the capital tonight, low temperature around 70 degrees, and tomorrow we're looking at partly sunny with a passing shower, particularly in the afternoon. High temperature tomorrow, 80 degrees, extended weather forecast, off and on showers through Saturday. Some of which we told you already could be heavy at times as that front boundary drifts a little further south. Temperature-wise, we're going to keep you in the low 80s, nighttime temperatures in the 70s. It gets a little better as we head into late Sunday and the early part of next week when the skies begin to open up once again with lots of sunshine during the daytime. Makishla.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.